Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Dear sons and daughters of planet Earth, I am Sananda. Once again with great joy, once again with a heart bursting with love and light, for every inhabitant of this planet. My sons and daughters, open your minds, focus on the journey of your souls. Don't get attached to your own mistakes. Each error presented, each error recognized, each error admitted, is not a punishment, it is not our finger pointed at you. On the contrary, we are there with open arms, enlightened hearts and minds totally focused on your mind, so that the understanding of that error leads you to the right path, to make the right decision. If the mistake was in relation to the other and it is necessary to ask for forgiveness, or forgive, do it. No, if the mistake does not need to be forgiven, learn it and repeat to yourself that you will do everything possible to not make this mistake again. I can tell you that as you interpret technology on your own planet, you are making evolutions, improving your applications and programs. So I can say the same about their minds. It is as if you today had a mind that vibrates in the third dimension and another mind, in parallel, which is being formed with each expansion of consciousness made in the mind of the third dimension. So try to learn from each mistake. Don't judge yourself, don't think you're incapable, the error is not intended for this when shown. The aim is exactly evolution, learning, understanding what that action caused in the other. Many times, you do small things that you understand in your mind don't affect anyone, but sometimes they do. And then, you might think, but that's so silly, that doesn't matter to me, but to someone else it does. He still doesn't have his consciousness expanded, for him that is important. So don't judge the actions of others by your conscience. Respect each person's way of thinking. If that is important to the other but not to you, because you have already learned that that is ego, or that is something that is not good for the soul, very well, for him it is not yet clear that this is not good, everything is fine for him and he will continue in that form for a long time to come. It won't be you fighting, talking, condemning him that will make him change, on the contrary. Always remember that those who do not have expanded consciousness do not understand the way you think, for them it is you who are wrong, not them. So, don't try to make anyone change. When we have said here that respect is as important a feeling as unconditional love, that is exactly why. Respect each other's opinions, respect each other's way of being. Does it bother you? Don't you agree? Does it attack you? So there is an action to be taken, forgive them, because if they are causing so much negative energy in you, it is a sign that you still cannot forgive them, you cannot accept them as they are, and you emanate this bad energy towards them. Then simply forgive them for making mistakes, but there is an addendum there, ask for forgiveness also for not knowing how to understand them. Often when I speak here, in forgiveness, asking for forgiveness, many are afraid, many do not act, do not do it, because they feel that the other will not receive it in the appropriate way, because that other person will be acting with their mind, not with their heart. Every request for forgiveness or every forgiveness made can be done from heart to heart. So it would be, you are inside your hearts and you call the other person's heart, and then yes, you ask for forgiveness or forgive. That other person's heart will receive your request or your action, and this feeling will vibrate in that other person. She won't quite understand why she's thinking about you in a different way, she won't understand. But surely, her heart, her divine presence, will make her understand and her request or her action to forgive will be delivered, without interference from the other person's mind. So always act from divine presence to divine presence. And how to access the divine presence? You have already been taught, access your caves, there is the divine presence of each one. And when calling on the other person's heart, call on their divine presence and be sure that they will hear, that they will receive their message. Don't want to make the world act the way you think is right. We don't do that. If we could simply change the minds of every inhabitant of this planet, the earth would already have ascended with everyone on it. Everyone would have ascended because we would have changed their vibrations. And why don't we do that? Because we respect the free will of each soul, we respect the way of thinking of each soul, we respect the choices of each soul. So, how do you want to do different? Do you want to change people? Do not do it. This is an action that returns immense karma to you. Invasion of free will has a very negative impact on your journey, because you want to change the other. So accept the other as he is, no matter if he is right or wrong, in your view. We don't judge anyone. How do you want to judge right and wrong? Each soul has a journey and a learning process, and if they act this way, it is because they believe that this is right. Ah, but you know she is wrong very well. The time will come for her to realize this or not. Perhaps she will need a few more incarnations to learn this. It will not be you who will teach it. Understand this. Every soul incarnated on this planet now is at the appropriate level for its evolution. Each soul is perceiving and feeling, each one is perceiving and feeling things that they have never felt and are not knowing very well how to deal with them. Many are exploding, in the broadest sense of the word. They are taking actions that have never been taken before, but that have always been within their souls, that is, they are showing themselves to be true, leaving falsehood aside and are surprising a lot of people. Others are realizing their own mistakes and are taking different paths that they understand to be better. So understand that change is happening, no matter how much it may not seem like it to you. Look at people, many are changing, some for the better, others for the worse. They are just becoming receptive to what they are receiving. Some are enjoying it and improving, others are not enjoying it at all and are getting worse, and this will be what will define each one's journey to the fifth dimension. Either they will or they won't. Simple. There's not much difficulty in understanding, there's not much to do. The vibrations and feelings are what will determine who will go and who will not. There is nothing to do different from that. So let each soul make its choice. Respect the other's opinion, respect the other's way of being. Ah, but you don't agree. So then we have a very serious problem, because you are forgetting to respect others, you are trying to impose your ideas and your will, and this is also not right. Even children. You often want to impose things that don't make any sense to them. You want them to think like you. As adults, they're not ready for that yet. So try to be adults with mentalities identical to those of your children, so that you can demand from them what their minds are ready to receive. Don't demand more, because then you will be causing serious problems for these children. Children, as the name suggests, are children, not small adults. Accept listening to what your children have to say. They have a voice, but many of you think everything they say is nonsense. And within this nonsense, many things may be hidden that you should know. You just need to pay attention. Respect your children, because they are children. Many come with much superior soul baggage, the souls that are here, even the evolved ones, because they will be the ones who will take over the next world, at the right time. So don't try to impose old, broken, and meaningless rules on your children. They know that doesn't work and they won't accept it. Conversation is the best way. Argument is the best way, not violence, not imposition for the sake of imposition. I'm going to do it because I want to. This doesn't work for them. You have to explain why you want her to do it, what is the objective of it, what does she gain from it. So if you have an argument, she will understand and do it. Usually those who don't know how to argue are the dictators. You have to do it because I want you to do it, and they end up creating violent and highly unpleasant children for the world, because they become irritating children. Why? Because you force them to do what they don't want to do, or at least to do what they don't understand, why they have to do it. 90% of children being born are extremely evolved souls, with immense unconditional love. Pull for this unconditional love, know how to talk to them. I repeat, talk. Not commanding, shouting and attacking, is talking, and by talking you will have many surprises. And I say more, they will have a lot to teach each of you. Now, you need to open your hearts and listen to what they have to say. Don't just see them as children who only talk nonsense. Why 90%? Because 10% are not generated by the light, they are born with a path, the non-light. So these will remain in the third dimension for a long time, they will not have the chance to evolve. Concluding this message of mine, respect each other, whether an adult or a child. Never try to impose your ideas. Ideas are to be expressed, appreciated, demonstrated, never imposed. Each soul has already made its choice. Everyone is ready to learn or does not want to learn, there is no way for you to change that. Accept each soul as it really is. If this causes you suffering, ask for our help and we will alleviate your suffering. But we can't do anything about that soul, because we respect its free will. The key word is unconditional love. And a good way to get there, respect, understanding, acceptance. You are expanding your consciousness. So, these are the first steps that you need to take, every second.